Well, have you ever experienced anything like that in your life? My goodness me. And thank you very much for staying with us. I don't know, that was a real genuine gremlin in the system. And I am so proud of you all for not being sunshine sailors. Welcome back to our second start of podcast 29. Excellent stuff. Lovely to have you back with us. And as I say, welcome. Now then, if you can all tell 10 to tell 10 to tell 10, that would be fantastic. And all I can say is I do sincerely apologize for the technical difficulty, but it was out with my control. So there you are. It just started buffering. Very, very interesting. So there's lessons to be learned there, guys. But thank you very much for sticking with us. How tremendous is that? And welcome. Dinky do, good man, says Dark Hall. I'm back. Bring me my usual. Excellent stuff. So there we are. Fantastic. John Jones, thank you. Thank you to all of you for sticking with us there, because it's a little bit nerve-wracking. Well, it's not so much nerve-wracking as irritating when that happens, because obviously we lose the stream and we have to get back together now. I don't think it's anything to do with the equipment, and we've had a good stream tonight, so there we are. So this is part 2. Fantastic. More likes, please, guys. Grady, thanks very much for sticking with us. Everybody, that was tremendous. Yes, I need another 10 likes right now, and we need to get the word out there that we are all watching part 2. And I'll just say welcome back to all of you. Very important. So there we are. Let's get this up here and let's get this along there. So we're all together. We're all singing from the same sheet, I say. Right. I'm going to say to you, welcome back. Welcome back. And sorry about that wee difficulty. There we are. That wee technical difficulty. Sorry, welcome back. Sorry about. Lovely. That's that. That wee difficulty. Wee technical difficulty. And then everybody will know what it was. Yes, a wee gremlin in the system. That wee technical difficulty. And I checked everything. Very, very good stream. Everything working fine. Randy says, hello, Scottie, how are you? The wonderful Betty McIver is back with us. Welcome back, Scottie. Says, sorry about that wee technical difficulty. There you are. It might be the midges. I took the dog out before I started to broadcast. Yes, Sky says, government announces from tomorrow no more briefings on corona. Well, that might make the news a little bit more watchable, because I think people were getting depressed, and I scanned along the television channels, and what I was finding was that those programs on about death and murder and funerals and years-old murders, and you have to watch that people don't see. Television should be an escapism from the real world, the same as coming on here should be a bit of fun. That's what it's designed for, a bit of fun. Also, Scottie, you really suit your beard. You should keep it, says Randy. Thanks, Randy. And Dinky Doo, lovely to have you back with us. And welcome. So there we are. John, thanks very much for that. John Jackson, wonderful. Betty McIver, wonderful. Grady, wonderful. Fantastic. Dark, wonderful. Is Tam there? We need to get Tam back with us. Fantastic stuff. So there we are. Action and adventure. Yes. Fantastic. And the wonderful Kareem, of course. So there we are. So that tonight, you will find that tonight's podcast is in 2 parts. So we've got our first bit, which will be probably about 20 minutes, I would think. Maybe it was the Noise Abatement Society. They're missing you. Yes, we always used to say in radio when there was a breakdown, a little bit of silence brought to us courtesy of the Noise Abatement Society, and our thanks go out to them. So there we are. Wonderful stuff. Thank you for that. Action and adventure with some fantasy. My cup of tea. Yes, there should be escapism on here, Grady. There should be Hopefully McClue's a wee bit of a cheerful voice and that sort of stuff. Lol, says Grady. All sounds good, Scottie. Technical glitches happen, says the wonderful Robert Scrimger. Yes, and I couldn't do a thing about it, guys. You know, I would do anything to sort that sort of thing. Is that your 2 podcasts technical difficulties? 2, Glenn. Yes, 2 out of 29. So there were. Acos says, Soralba, Scottie. Yes, Soralba, I say to you. Is that how you say it? Soralba. Yes, it's Gaelic, of course, isn't it, for Scotland? There we are. Wonderful. Scottie, I sent you £1 last feed. Did you get that? Okay, Kareem, I saw it pop up in the feed. Very kind of you. Yes, thank you. You're a very, very kind man. Guys, every single one of you that taps that dollar, you don't have to, but it's very lovely of you. You know, Kareem sends £1, sometimes several pounds. Grady says, amazing stuff, man. So there we are. Alpa with a soft P. So, Sir Alpa. Yes, amazing stuff, fantastic. We've got all the Scots on here. I've got a great clip for you tonight, by the way. So you'll like that one. I know you will. Fantastic. Grady, I suspect this stream is right up your cup of tea, and I want you to write up your patoti, as we say in Scotland. I don't know why they say up your patoti, because that's your potato. So there we are. And Thomas Beeden says, clip. Absolutely, yes. Yes, that was a clip, Tam. The last one was a clip. Fantastic. McClue's back. Tam, well done for joining us. Thank you for not being a sunshine sailor. Appreciated. Scottie, I'm absolutely livid today, says Kareem. Kareem, please tell us. Use this stream to vent your lividness, because I don't want you upset. I don't want you livid. I want to know what's upsetting you. Come on and tell us. So you can give us a Skype, Kareem. How's the Skype doing? Shall I set that up? We'll maybe get a wee Skype call from you. Fast Pat, you are okay, buddy. Everybody looks after the wonderful Kareem. He's such a gem. The plosive consonants are very interesting, says Grady, coming from Proto-Indo-European language. Well, of course, you've got bilabial plosives, Grady, as you well know, and that's your B and your P. P, B, 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 pop, pop, bop, bop. You know, so getting your bilabial plosives. I was watching, I think it was an Inspector Morse mystery, and somebody's name had been misunderstood because somebody was lip reading bilabial plosives. Wonderful, isn't it? There we are. Can we have more likes, please? We've fallen behind on our likes. We were up on the first stream. Scottie, you're really kind. We all have a lot of respect for you. Randy, you are a very, very nice person. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. I have great respect for you guys. I am shocked at the prospect that all schools will be back full-time in August. Do we really want a second lockdown? So there we are. Well, this is very interesting. So this is what's at it. I got my hair cut on Sunday, Glenn. Tam, it depends who cut it. Stoom. I'm shocked at the prospect of all schools. Do we want a second lockdown or a partial one in September? I spoke to somebody the other day and they said to me, I think you'll find there will be another spike and that schools will be off again. So I don't know. Why do you think the Scottish government has caved into this? Because the other day they were just on the old caution road and they were doing very, very well. And the problem is, if they authorize everyday schools to go back when, you know, other things are not back, pubs are not open, restaurants are not open, and they let the schools go back and there is a major crisis, what's that going to do to the Scottish government? Do you see what I mean? Because there's nothing we value higher than our young people. Nothing. They are the next generation. So there we go. I'm good to see if the Skype's working. If it is, then Kareem, feel free to come on and have a wee chit-chat with McClure. There we are. Excellent stuff. Right. I'll put that on. So give that a whirl if you fancy it, Kareem. So what's Tam saying? Oh, yes. Hello, Kareem, Scottie, Tony, Mrs. Mac, if you're out there. Hi, everyone. Wonder if Gordon got my sweeties yet. Right. The wonderful Catherine Raven. Aha. Kareem.
Hello, Scottie. How are we?
Hello, how are we? Can everybody hear Kareem?
Hello.
Hello, chat away. Just you chat away, Kareem. Don't worry about them.
Right. No, I was just listening to what you said there about the schools opening, and I think it's a very dangerous game the Scottish Government are starting to play.
Now, this has just come out, was it yesterday?
It was today.
This morning.
Today.
Right. So It came out this morning. I wonder if it was late yesterday. So it came out this morning, and schools are going to go back with social distancing and all that?
Well, he said that the R rate is very low, and the science is saying it's good. Scotland's in a good position at the moment.
Some bits of Scotland, I think if you went down to the likes of Greenock or Gourock, they've got a very high incidence of COVID.
Yeah, I think he was comparing it to like England, etc. That we've been doing really well. There was no mention about all social distancing, but I would question that if you're in a school of 1,200, how can you social distance? How can you get
it's very difficult because if you think about it, it's at the moment sitting at 2 meters. Now, a child, if a child stretched their arms out, they're almost another meter. So if you were to allow 3 meters per young person, and certainly most adults, I'm probably about a meter round the front, now, so maybe not quite. But if you look at that and people say, total social distancing and going back to, introducing the reopening of schools very carefully, you'd be talking about 10 people in a room. There's not a 30-meter room, I don't think, in a school, is there? Apart from your public areas.
The thing that's annoying me as well, Scottie, is the amount of people on social media that have actually welcomed it. It's fantastic. It's the best thing for our kids. They need to get back to school. And I'm thinking, well, no.
If there's a spike, somebody said the other day, Kareem, we need to get back to normal and get on with our lives. And I said, if you have a spike, there won't be any lives to get on with. This is a virus. This isn't something you just come through and it all goes away.
There's no vaccine. So
So somebody catching the virus has a very high chance of passing away with it.
Yeah. I've said to people, it's like a seesaw. I think you're on a seesaw. It's going to go up and it's going to go down. It's going to go up. But we've took a nice, slow, steady approach. And I think we should continue that. That's my opinion anyway.
And apart from a few idiots in parks and things like that have got too close, the demonstrators in George Square, that wasn't smart at all. Sort of thing. But apart from that, as you say, everybody's been pretty good, and we don't want to put ourselves through 3 months of very challenging problems and what have you, so that just gets thrown away again and we're back to square one.
I think my prediction now, Scottie, if we do go back full time in August, like I have classes of 33, so that's challenging enough. But if there is going to be a second spike, I could see John Swinney having to resign over this if he's going to force everyone back far too early. And the other parties, and you know what the media are like up here, will absolutely hound him until he does resign. So I think he's walking a very dangerous line here.
Well, I think the Scottish Government has been exceptional during this whole crisis. People down south are tearing their hair out wishing they were being run from Holyrood, So we don't want to, I just hope that they're not bowing to some sort of external pressures. You know what I mean? You know, because you've got to hold your nerve. That's the whole thing.
Yeah. I don't know if they're playing a political game, because the Tories today, when they were in the Parliament, had no argument back at all what they've been fighting for. But as I said, I don't know if they're playing a game here, but I'm sure we'll find out in August.
Oh, yes. Well, I think we'll find out before then, because I think what politicians are learning, and we've never had this patronising attitude from the Scottish government. I think what people are realising is that the people are people, and they are not stupid. They can see all these games. And although social media does sometimes foster fake news, let's not kid ourselves. People set up accounts for different purposes and what have you. They set them up for trolling and all this kind of thing. We know that goes on, but that aside, you know, you can catch up with what's actually going on with the real people, you know, and everybody is in touch. So it's harder for politicians to pull the wool. So if somebody's in a closed room coming up with an absolute belter of an idea as to how to pull the wool over the public, they're going to start to struggle, you know. Yeah. Because it's going to get sussed. And how do you look? I mean, Boris found this with the Brexit thing, you know, every trick in the book to see that the wealthy people get out of paying tax, even taking the country out of Europe. Now, that's madness. How do you rob 70 million people of their EU passports, their EU citizenship? 70 million people on 1.2 million decisions. So the people don't realize this, but that referendum had the same legal standing as an opinion poll. So the government didn't need to act on it at all, Kareem. They could have said, thanks so much for your feedback. We'll bear it in mind. End of Brexit. End of.
Move on to that.
Move on, thanks very much. And of course, we all remember getting the government's advice, stay in the EU for the future, for jobs, etc. You know, stick with the EU.
Scottie, about England with their R rate on July 4th, I believe, and I've seen this from Blackpool, everywhere's opening up for tourism down south. So I don't think we'll open up as early. I think it might be the 14th or 15th of July. But I think England are doing everything far too early. So we will see and we'll see the spikes. It's already happening. Yes. So I would say watch out for July 4th onwards to see what's happening down south to our neighbours.
Absolutely. Kareem, as always, a great privilege talking to you. Thanks for your arm. I hope you're less billing now, because why should you wear yourself out? Because other people are getting things wrong.
Yes, no, you're right. And thank you very much for having my call. And I'll be chatting away on the live chat here just now with everybody and yourself.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Scottie.
By the way, Kareem, everybody loves you on here. You are a hero. Dinky do, sir.
Thank you.
Ta-da. Well, what a fine fellow. That's our Kareem, of course. And off he jolly well goes. If you're on the trusted list, guys, you can Skype and we can discuss this. Yay! Hello.
Hi, Scott.
Hi, Glenn. How are you tonight, La?
How's it going, mate?
Oh, fantastic. I was sorry about the technical problem because it's embarrassing, but I couldn't do a thing about it. It was going round and round and round. Just a simple computer thing.
Scottie joking aside, you're cheating so you can do two podcasts in one day, aren't you?
You what? What's that, La?
You cheated to do two podcasts in one day. You've got that up and going.
Yeah, well, what? I think we should try it.
You know what I think you should do?
Go on.
Technical difficulties aside, I think you should do like podcasts within like early hours of the morning kind of thing, test people.
Well, try people maybe during the night, maybe 2 o'clock in the morning till 4 or something.
See whether people are still awake. Yeah, see whether people are still
Well, you see, the thing is, we'd pick up America, wouldn't we? And we need to talk to Grady about Canada. He's our man in Canada.
Be a bit spontaneous kind of thing. Just go for it.
But I like that idea because, let's be honest, the podcasts are left up anyway. So, people can come and see it. And when folks say, I don't know if they'll come and see, the small figure, someone said, you've only got so many looking at into it just now. That goes up in a multiplier. And I look at the analysis, and maybe, for instance, you've had 500-600 people join you for a podcast. Now, we're just starting, Glenn.
Yeah, exactly. Small oaks, isn't it?
Yeah. What's it going to be like in 5-10 years' time?
Share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook.
And if you've all sent me £1 by then, I've bought myself really super fast equipment, all that stuff. With serious insurance that if this podcast breaks down, they've got to send somebody out.
I'm notified anyway, so everything comes up. I'm subscribed to you anyway. So
brilliant.
The main purpose I phoned you up anyway.
Go on now.
The main purpose I rang you anyway. Boris Johnson with this reducing it to 1 metre, big mistake if you ask me.
Tell me this, Glenn. What are the people of the north of England thinking? What are the Yorkshire people? Because Yorkshire people, let's not kid ourselves, and I know I'm generalising, but they're pretty canny folk. Do you know, they give everything a right good think. You know what I mean?
But I'd still be a bit cautious at the moment. I'll still stick to 2 metres if you ask me.
I think so. Because think about it, Glenn, it's an airborne virus. So you're saying we're 1 metre away. Now, I don't know about you, but I give these almighty sneezes, right? Yeah. I do a serious sneeze when I do. I think you've probably heard it on radio. I just left the mic up and I go, whoosh! Oh, dear, sorry about that. And I get about 6 of them. Go on.
Can you imagine if people let the guard down, though, and...
Well, that's frightening, because the other thing is with a coronavirus, we don't know if we've got it or not. So there's no point saying, listen, I can't come into work, guys, I've got coronavirus. People say, oh, no, you stay where you are. You don't know.
More like me.
What's that? Sorry, Glenn?
How long do you reckon it'll last for this...
Well, we have to kill it off. It has to die off, and you can't go infecting people if you're not out among them.
You think will we all get tested sooner or later then? Do you reckon?
But even testing, think about it, Glenn. All this, I don't hate because I don't hate anything. I thoroughly dislike this term that's creeping in. We're ramping up testing. Stop ramping up. Stop stealing terms. It's like all that Brexit stuff, kick can down the road.
All these politicians, Boris Johnson and the Labour guy, I forgot what his name is, Sherman is it?
Sir Keir Starmer, yeah.
Yeah, Keir Starmer. They're all scoring points against each other, aren't they?
Well, yes, of course they are, and that's the problem. This should be, like during the Second World War, Churchill wasn't in charge of a conservative government. He was in charge of a national government. And he had the Scottish secretary, Tom Johnston, was part of that national government. And Churchill called him the uncrowned King of Scotland. And he was an absolute, genuine, raging Scottish socialist. Passionate. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Proper passion
about it. And he was for the people. And Churchill had to realise, that although his politics were different, he could use, he could really benefit from having Tom Johnson in cabinet.
Boris can't do right for doing wrong, really, can he? Because
Not really.
As soon as people want to go back to normal, going into pubs, socialising and everything else.
That's your problem.
It's a recipe for disaster, if you ask me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's totally different. You see, Sheffield is a city, Glenn, as you know, that's built on social living. That's why the Sheffielders all talk to each other. Morning, love. How are you? Are you all right? Yeah, all right. Bit cold this morning. Oh, a bit cold. Has there been a bus here? I think it's just coming, love. There was one about 10. Oh, well, there's usually another one now. And then the chat starts.
It's still chucking it down and all that.
Yeah, it's chucking it down and all right.
Don't want to be waiting for the bus much longer.
Well, I might walk up to next stop.
What's that? I mean, Scottie, come on. A cinema owns a fair amount of people, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And you can get fleas. You can get fleas in a cinema. So what hope have you got against a virus?
Scottie, it's economy, and he's thinking more about economy, really.
Yeah, but I think we're going to have the old economy and the new economy. And we're going to have to say to our young people, look, you'll just have to behave yourselves. We haven't time to shout at you and tell you to stop picking your nose because we're all going online to teach you. So we're going online.
Do you think it'll be the younger generation that'll...
Yeah, well, at some point, I've always known the technology, was going to have to meet it. I mean, schools probably have terrific challenges with young people using the mobiles all the time.
Yeah.
And then the danger of them taking a picture of the teacher and sticking it on, shouting at somebody and sticking it on. All that sort of nonsense. These worries. But if we overcome this, I mean, we used to hit children. We used to cane children. We used to belt children. I got all that. So that's all gone now. And education's a much, much healthier place for that. So now we need to get in to saying to young people, look, stop the carry on just now. Just listen because I want to. No
capital punishment now, is there?
Corporal punishment. That was corporal. Capital's the old hanging eye. You don't want that. But
I don't want either.
No, you don't want either of them. But that's all. And I think the technology, we've got the technology. You're just going to have to say, right, good morning, everybody. It's 9 o'clock. Sign in so I can see you're all here on the whatever it is, Teams or whatever.
We're here on this tablet or this laptop.
Yeah, we're on a laptop. Right, let's get started.
As long as you stay safe that way. I mean, Scottie, I've got so many
things to say.
I'm lost. Are you? To be honest,
you've got so many things to ask.
Just to think about, really, on what'll happen next. I'm just going to play it by ear and just stick to.
I think that's what we've got to do, But you're in right place. You're in Sheffield. You could have been stuck in Dudley.
Yeah, Dudley. Dudley, Scottie.
Well, I'll have to watch what I say because Dudley will all be watching now.
He'll pick up. I'll be a celebrity, won't I?
Yeah, you'll be. The people say, "Do you go on that SCOTTIE McCLUE show?"
Yeah. He's by a good lad.
Hey, lad, he's a one, isn't he? He's a one.
I mean, Meadow big shopping centres like that, Bullring in Birmingham.
Yeah. Bullring,
not wise, is it?
Trafford Centre, Manchester, all that stuff.
Not wise at the moment, is it?
No problem. Absolutely you can't. And you see, the other thing, air conditioning. Aircraft, air conditioning, recycled air, you can't risk that.
What's going to be next? The stadiums, are they going to be open to capacity next? Is that going to be the next thing?
Well, this is it, And I'll tell you what I don't want, Glenn. I don't want them blaming the economic annihilation that Brexit's caused. I don't want that. I don't want that being blamed on COVID. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Well, let's go. Scottie, I'm being sarcastic. Let's go back to normal and let's see loads of people lose their lives. No chance.
This is what's happening. This is what they're not thinking. And what do you say? Oh, we didn't think young people were going to get this because viruses mutate. They find our way. You see?
Just you mark my words, as soon as all these high street shops open up again, young ones will just show straight through, won't they? And just
start buying
take
stuff.
It on face value and just fucking through.
Absolutely.
It'll cause major problems, Scottie, won't it?
Absolutely, Glenn. Yes. No. There's a lot. This needs to be talked through, and this is an excellent place to do it. This is now the go-to place during lockdown. People are getting the message. SCOTTIE McCLUE. What's that? Oh, him. Oh, he's gone years ago. I said, no, he's not. He's on YouTube every night.
You know the difference between the Scottish Parliament and our Parliament in England?
Westminster, yeah.
Yeah, how are you guys dealing as is it Nicola Sturgeon? Has she putting restrictions down? As
she's been absolutely outstanding. She comes on and does all the briefings. She doesn't she answers everything she can. She's very, very well informed, and she tells it like it is. And there's no kind of superiority about it or anything like that. They're just straight to point. And that same as if you had a Sheffield government. Same Yorkshire Parliament, same chat,
It's a big divide, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And we need to heal that divide. Because remember, the Scots and the English, they don't dislike each other, but this arrogance that comes out of Westminster towards the North and towards Scotland, it's that arrogance, you know what I mean?
And it's not on, is it?
No, you don't have that arrogance. You just say, well, what can we do for you? I've been all my life working with some really, really top people. I've been very privileged. And when I go in to see them, somebody says, can Scottie wondered if he could have a word? And they say, oh, yes, of course. Yes, and they show, he says just to go in. And I go in and say, morning. And they say, morning, Scottie, what can I do for you? That's the top man. What can I do for you? He doesn't say, right, I'm not having any of your nonsense, McClue, so this had better be good. They don't do any of that. His secretary goes, yeah, you've just to go in, Scottie, I'd be delighted. Would you like a coffee or a tea? I say, no, not for me, lover. I'll not keep him.
Not trying to be somebody you're not really, innit?
No, that's it. And I go in and he says, morning, Scottie, what can I do for you? I've always had that.
And you'll get more respect than the false facade, yeah.
And I say, now, would you be willing to do that? I'll give it a go. He said, but don't drop me in it. I say, I won't drop you in it, sir. No problem.
But why do people try to be something they're not, Scottie? Why do they?
That's their problem. That's their problem, because they have to get behind a desk or something as a barrier. These are barriers. You want to knock down the barriers. Do you know what I mean? And I mean, I've had fun bosses as well, great fun bosses that shout over the balcony to me in front of other employees, away with your nonsense here, McClue. all that. And they're great,
Few and far between, though, aren't they? That's the problem.
Yeah, well, that's what we've lost, the standing up and being counted. When someone goes, who's in charge here? Everybody goes, well, we sort of all are. You say, no, who's in charge? I am. What can I do for you?
But,
and you can make it happen. It's being able to make it happen. The frustration the people of the North and the people of Scotland are feeling at the moment, they want to make things happen and they can't get on with it.
Time will tell, Scottie.
Time will tell. Glenlar, I'm going to have to dash, or it's turning into it's the Glen cast.
It is, Scottie. Dinky do.
Love you lots. Dinky do, lad. Take care.
See you later.
All the best. See you, buddy. Look after yourself. Top man. There we are. That's our Glenn from Sheffield. He lives in the Midlands, from Sheffield, live on the Skype. If you're on the trusted list on the Skype, come on. So what have we got here? Let's catch up. The plosive consonants are very interesting, says Grady. Coming from Proto. Oh, yes, we did that one. Kareem, hope you're okay, buddy. Watery Leaf beat Kareem at Kirby. Now, Kirby, Scottie, the weather's been gorgeous today. Kareem, my fellow, Kirby was a great game. You're being heard. Scottie, you're really kind. We've a lot of respect for you. Grandpa Scottie, hello, remember me, says Gary. Hello, Gary. Dinky do. I'm shocked at the prospect all schools will be back, says Kareem. We got that one. As Gordon got the sweeties, like, says the wonderful David Taylor. I genuinely don't think a second wave will happen, says David Taylor. Well, David, qualify that, please. Hi, Catherine, says Kareem. Tam says, he cut his hair. Do you know them, Glenn? I don't know what you're up to. Scottie, I Skype you if your Skype's on. Yes, absolutely. Kareem, we've done that. Scottie, you're a living legend, says Randy. I thank you, Randy. You're very, very kind. The kids just finished up today. I didn't even know they went back in Scotland. I thought it was only England. They didn't go back, Catherine. I think just some were in. Gaft says, Scottie, do you like gammon or prefer a bit of beef? Either the smoked beef or the ham shank. Sunday lunch. Hello, Kareem, says Fast Pat. It's 2 months away. We can judge what's happened by then with the English schools. Good one, ACOS. Absolutely, says Grady. Thumbs up from Omfgaf. Scotland was always 2 weeks behind, at least, in getting our first COVID cases. We don't know that for sure, ACOS. Sounding good, Brady. Get Scotty's take on it. Dinky do, Grady. You are our man in Canada. We need to know, what time do you have right now, Grady? There's Kareem, says Catherine. Hi, Grady, says Catherine. Fantastic. Everyone, Scotty is my grandpa. That's right. Scotty, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to have my haircut 4th of July before I go back to the West Midlands. Catherine wants some Grady love, says Tam. Hello, Catherine, says Grady. Thomas, who is Jim and Warlass? Like she has it. There she has it, Thomas. Hello, Catherine. I hope you're well, says Fast Pat. Hi, Fast Pat. Yes, I'm good. Hope you're well. Glenn, did you ever work in Rutherford's button factory, says Tam. Schools are apparently giving pupils 9 hours of school a week. Rest, self-education. Kids will suffer and be held back resitting exams. John Jones, we can make up that time. What we can't do is bring back people who have been taken away by a killer virus. So there we are. So we can always do that. You can make up time. I'd continue to homeschool if my kid was still at school. Glad she left last year, says Catherine. Guys, can I have loads and loads of likes, please? We've fallen way behind with the likes. Absolutely. And we need to get the numbers up. Can everybody share? We haven't even got any sharing done. We've been on for an hour. For goodness sake. Right. Tell everybody about this podcast, guys. And I'm thinking perhaps popping up maybe next week in the morning. Do a bit of random. Catherine, do you vape? Says Thomas. Do you vape, Thomas? It's so nice to get to talk to people in Scottish broadcasts. You're all a great bunch and make my night times special, says the wonderful Fast Pat. Well, Fast Pat, you make our lives special with all your wisdom and your knowledge. And you've driven an Atkinson's. I love that. Beautiful. Does anybody remember British Road Services? Yes, they were the ones. Fantastic. We need Ian Quinn to tell us what's what. Right, guys, we need to do sharing. Come on. McClue's had a night of it. You need to help him here. And I'll just put, in fact, I'm going to put in watch your chat. There we are. Watch what's just come up on your chat. Share, share, share. Excellent. There it's on the chat. You get 52% of turkeys to vote for Christmas, says ACOS. So nice to get that on here. Kareem has a soothing voice. He's a great guy, Tam. He's the genuine article. I think he would be a good narrator, an excellent narrator. Good anything. Kareem would be good at anything he puts his mind to. Kareem, don't hold back. Let your voice be heard, says Fast Pat. Shelley B. Hey, Kareem, Shelley B. Lovely to have you with us. Aye, says Grady Beckel. Aye, that was my father. Aye. If you ever look on Scottie McClue's Facebook, you'll see a picture of my father I put up today playing the pipes. There we are. Hello, Shelley. Hope you're well, honey. Even if the government says so, resume retail or nightlife. Good evening, Lord McClue. Dinky Doo says, the Archie. Fantastic, the Archie. Shelley B, do you own Air Max and Lacoste trackies? Says Tam. I won't be, a wee bit of advertising there, Tam. I won't be following guides. I'll be the last one going back to normal. And you see, Shelley B, that word's a bit like nice. What is normal? What does normal mean? That's what we need to find out. Who can say that they've lived a normal life? You know, I mean, I am normal as such, but that's what is normal. Thomas, I don't have these levels of nedism, says Shelley B. Nedism, aha. They can still be homeschooled and receive an emotional education. An emotional education. Most of school stuff is not much used after school. There's college, brackets, closed brackets. Their exams, you spelt there wrong there, Shelley, are important. They can be done with the distancing. You'd be surprised what gets used when you've left school, depending what your job is. Say you become an architect, you're going to need your maths and your physics and all these things. Oh, just jesting, says Thomas. Thomas, you are a jester. Hello, Glenn, says Fast Pat. Hi, Shelley, says Kareem. It's all good, my guy. Evening, Scotty. Dinky Doo, says Lee Fly. Lee Fly, welcome. I've got some photos for you guys. I came across them today and I put them up on Facebook. Now, would you like to see? Here we are. There's my mum as a little one with her brother feeding a lamb. Yes, can you see that? There she is, feeding a lamb, tiny wee one, and her brother. Now, what else have I got? Ah, yes. There we are. Scottie McClue and the Prince of Wales. Do you see, just right behind the Prince of Wales there? Scottie McClue. That's me there. Wonderful, wonderful. And there's my dad. Picture of my dad. He was a bit of a film star, my dad, actually. He could have been the next James Bond. So that's it. That's my dad. Nice chap. And there he's wearing, his evening dress. Very, very amazing. He was a great sort of guy. He really was. Now, what else have I got I can show you? There's the Prince of Wales and McClue. There we are. There's McClue. You see, there we are. So that's that, and what have you. And there we are. Prince of Wales and McClue. There's McClue right behind. See that? Yes. Now I'm getting photobombed there. And there's my father at the pipes. That's my father at the pipes. These were crackers. I just came across them today. There he is at the pipes, at the bagpipes. Can you all see that? And here he is again. So there we are. That's Dad again. There we go. Quite a guy. Lovely, lovely man. And there's my mother at her spinning wheel. Now, Tam, you like that, the old country there, you see. That's my mother spinning away there at the old spinning wheel. Fantastic. There we go. And there's my father and his parents in the days when everybody used to dress. Look at that. There's my dad. The little guy in the middle's my dad. And that's Grandpa and Granny. In the days when you dressed up, look at the smartness, I'll tell you. All that sort of idea. So there we are. There's my grandparents with my two uncles. Yes, so there we are. Lovely, lovely people. So absolutely incredible. And what have you? And there's the whole family. There's the whole family. And that's my mum there. She was the little one. She's there. Grandpa, Granny, and her three brothers. And this is the chap that was killed with the Navy during the war, Uncle Colin. Lovely guy. So there we go. I didn't know him, but I bear his name. There's my mum. Yes, that's mother. Fantastic. So there you go. And there's her father. That's Grandpa. Again. There we are. Lovely guy as well. Fantastic guy. What's lovely people. I am very, very lucky, I have to say. So there we go. Right. Now then, What else have we got here? Thomas, your elasticated jeans and high-techs. There you are. You get the elasticated jeans, Tam. Hello, Glenn, says Fast Pat. Fantastic stuff, guys. With a nice Canadian accent, says Catherine. Fantastic. Well, what we're maybe going to get, he might Skype us again. Shelley, I believe he wears a blue and yellow Mirapeak. So there we are. Everybody's getting stuck in. Stop it now. Play nicely, guys. Now like Barnsley, says Shelley. Barnsley, that's it. Aye. Get out to Barnsley. Get up road there. All right. Dinky Doo, says the wonderful John Marshall. Hello, John, says Tam. Good evening, John. Good evening. Exactly. No one knows who has it. Absolutely, Catherine. Fast Pat, I heard he wears 2 odd Crocs and socks. For goodness sake. Hi, Thomas and Pat, says John Marshall. Trump complained about tests and is brainwashing people into thinking it's all under control. Catherine, the point they're missing, you could take a test and prove to be negative, right? Then you could get infected the next day. So they haven't really thought that side of things through. They can't say, oh, we tested him. He's absolutely fine. He can go back to work. And by the end of that week, you've been infected. Who really wants to go back to pubs, says ACOS? Well, it's a thought. Governments have never liked pubs, though. There was a lot of drunkenness in Carlisle around the time of the First World War. And the government started watering the beer and took over the pubs. And it was a friend of mine's father that ran them. You know, actually, he was the senior civil servant. And they sent him up to Cumbria to run the pubs. So the government ran the pubs to weaken the beer and see that people didn't just get absolutely steamboats all the time. More likes, please, guys. Give us another 10. I'll be queuing at the pub, says Tam. We might all give up the booze. Thomas Speeden, get a car out of Tesco's and chill it for 30 minutes, says ACOS. Totally, says Welly Song. Not the same, says Tam. Life must go back to normal, says Thomas. But what is normal, Thomas? Do you see what I mean? I shut my eyes, Scottie. You're on radio. John G., I am so glad you've said that. What I'm trying to get people to do is put on the podcasts and then just go away and listen to them as radio. So go to Scottie McClue's YouTube channel, put on a podcast and just wander off and listen to it as the radio. You know, I mean, I'm not exactly an oil painting. I accept that, but this is what I look like, and I'm not changing it. Do you know technology and heating, etc., in your home produces 2 tons of carbon a month, says Catherine Raven. And if you're smoking on top of that, Catherine. So there we are. Some kids are loving not having to go to school, with students fighting. Welly Song. Aha. Can we all share, please, guys? I don't want these numbers down. I want to share. Now, come on. Come on. Share. Right. Don't remember we used to shop at the Co and they would say, what's your share number? She has shouted out across the shop. What a carry on. It's wonderful. You popped in, you actually went in to buy clothes at the Co-op. John, it's true. Video revitalized the radio star. Videos revitalized the radio star. Fantastic. Right. I'm going to share. Sorry, I'm just having a wee geek round the corner here. There we go. And I'll paste. Right. And this is going to have to be shared. I'll just say live now. Okay, Scottie McClue live now. I've moved that over so I'm not sort of keeking round the corner. You shouldn't keek round the corner because you can affect your neck. Scottie McClue live now. Right, that's it. That is it. Where do we get that saying from? Do you get that? Tam, have you ever heard that? People say, right, that's it. Okay, that is it. That is it. And I mean it. These were things that your mum used to say to you that didn't actually mean anything. That is it. Right, you've been told that's it. Give me that ball. Scottie McClue is live now. Okay. Now, guys, you must spread the word, right? Because this is big. I'll just share that now. Scottie McClue is live now. There we are. Off it goes. Right, what have we got here? Ian 429, a very, very brilliant man. The kids should be extra motivated to learn, as in the future we're going to have a safe and unsafe economy. Well, the economy will change. If you're not able to work from home, you'll be on the front line for the virus. Yes. True, Grady, says John G. I don't know what that was all about. So there we are. Guys, no advertise. John Jones, I can't read that out because you're advertising. So there we are. Yes, Tam, stop that. So there you are, the pair of you. There we are. I'll just take that out so we don't get a problem. There we go. Wonderful. Absolutely. Universal basic income. We need this now. Change my mind, says ECOS. Right, everybody up for that? Hello, Scottie. I'm back from Dindins. J-Dog Gaming. A big round of silent applause for J-Dog. Yay! Oh, sorry, silent applause. Fantastic. J-Dog's back from Dindins. J-Dog, it's been amazing tonight. We did have a technical problem. What could have done that, J-Dog? It just suddenly started going round and round, going reconnecting, and it didn't. And then everybody did a runner from me, but they came back. So I'm not talking to sunshine sailors. I'm talking to real wonderful people. Well, the benefits of being at home, bonding, growing together, learning, being with siblings, emotional intelligence. Catherine Raven, this is great stuff. Emotional intelligence, friends online or controlled distance. It's the gutless, greedy politicians. Yeah, I think if we said to the people that have got the 20 trillion pounds offshore, would you by any chance be able to part with a wee bit of your greed, just a tiny bit of your greed, just to help the children out, see they've got a hot meal? I actually did an appeal to that, and it won't be popular, but, you know, tiny wee bit. If you've got several trillion pounds offshore, you say, I'll bring a bit onshore and pay a wee bit of tax in the UK just to feed the children, just to get rid of the food banks. Because remember, austerity is political, right? That was purely a decision. So there we are. The Archie, you can't say that. So there we are. I have to take that down. I'm surprised at you, the Archie, because you know the score on here. She's doing a rare job in this crisis, but our area and constituency is appalling, says Shelley B. I agree, ACOS. So there we are. I was telling the taxi driver today where you moved to is still listening to the radio you were on. Amazing, Catherine. Absolutely amazing. Get them in. I got in a taxi one day and the driver says to me, he goes, so what's it you do yourself? I said, I do bits and pieces. So what kind of stuff? And he says, I'm just wondering, you've got a voice that would be good on the radio. So he was at something. I said, well, I have done a wee bit of radio in my time. Whereabouts? So he starts all this. And then he goes, were you a DJ? I said, not so much. It was more of a talk thing. And he goes, Scottie McClue! And he's chatting to me. He says, why don't they get you back instead of all that cack they've got on the radio at nights? Oh, for goodness sake. John G. Indeed, to allow small businesses to pay off their rates and whatever debt has accumulated through no fault of their own. Well, ACOS, the government could step in there and say, no, we'll take care of things like rates and stuff like that, you know. All very interesting. The taxi driver was talking about the old Scott FM and what a laugh it was, just about letting them know where you are, Catherine. That's so kind of you. It's very kind of all of you to let everybody know where McClue is. Tell 10 to tell 10 to tell 10. Yes, not a lot to ask. Ian 49. I don't see universal income happening. Too many think they can come out ahead in an everybody for theirself system. Well, you can't. I mean, do you not find that you work, you pay everybody, so everybody gets paid except you? And then you're left with £40 a month or something for your pocket money to feed you. You know, £10 a week, but everybody's been paid. The council tax has been paid, the gas, the electricity, all that sort of, they've all got their money. Yes, the mortgage people, they've got theirs, all getting paid back, but no, you're left with zilcho. Zilcho. There we go. Absolutely crazy stuff. Now, people were left with debt after New Labour. You know, I mean, that takes a long time to sort that out. And, of course, I was left with debt that I didn't even have anything to do with by the bad person. You know, that was the stuff as well. Right. Now, what have we got here? Scottie McClue Live now. I'm just going to share with the big Scottie McClue page, guys, on Facebook. I love my Facebook as well. Great stuff. But one platform are a wee bit sticky about promoting another one, I think. You know, it's that sort of idea. So there we go. Is live now. Okay. Right. I'm going to post this to the Scottie McClue feed. I'll share on a page I manage. Wonderful stuff. Share on a page I manage. And there's quite a few hundred watching, guys. It might not look like that, but I found out today people come and go all the time, dipping in and dipping out. Nice chat, Glenn, says Grady Beckel in Canada. Can I have a shout out, says Ambi Magic. You can have a shout out anytime. Big shout out to Ambi. Piers Morgan wouldn't read the government's statement this morning regarding nurses because they wouldn't go on the programme. People need to stick up for each other more than ever. Absolutely. Tell Jim and our lass they owe me a car, says John. John Marshall. Glenn, thanks, Grady. Scottie's a great person to talk to. What's tonight's clip, Scottie, says the wonderful Kareem. It's 5 p.m. in Cape Breton. We love Cape Breton. So that's where you are. So you will know about the Cape Breton Fiddlers, as you said the other night. Great sound. I wish I could play all that stuff, you know. Used to do a lot of music shows. Make it a nice story for the clip if you do one tonight, says Catherine. I've got a belter for you, Catherine. Hello, Scotland. Finally made a new account. Brilliant, Daniel. Lovely to have you with us. And I hope I didn't block your old one. I don't think I did, unless it was the night everybody was getting carried away with the football and shouting hail, hail and things. Fast Pat says, hello, Catherine. He's a good man to bounce the ideas off, says Grady. Scottie will add to your already deep knowledge. Excellent, Grady. Liked and shared, says Kareem. Good man, Kareem. Hello, Fast Pat. So there we are, says Catherine. Lives before profit. So you've got a shout out, Ambi. Fast Pat has hit the like button. No, I didn't work at Rutherford's Button Factory, says Glenn. Scottie McClue's put up share, share, share. Guys, give me more likes, please. Right, I'm just going to put this up on YouTube and then you're getting your clip. You'll get a clip. Remember that? A clip round the ear. That's what he's needing. Do you remember that one, guys? I remember being at a wedding years ago and this wee lad was misbehaving and his grandfather was there who was a Yorkshireman. And I said, he's a character, that one, isn't he? And his grandfather goes, aye, he wants thumping, that one. You can't do any of that now. Thank goodness. So there we are. Aye, he wants thumping, that one. I don't know. The young people today, they don't know how to behave. How often have you heard that one? There we are. Scottie McClue is live now. Yes. Outstanding. Right, guys, I've just posted that. Did you like the pictures? Nobody commented on the photos. Did you see them? So there we are. Right, I've just posted that. I'll just see what's happening there. And clip coming up. Clip coming up. Excellent. Oh, and have I said thank you to everybody who's tapped the dollar? Thank you very much for that. Thank you, Kareem, for all your generosity. It's wonderful. I'm going to save up and buy myself a really good camera and what? No disrespect to my wee camera here. What have we got here? You can't like while you're on, Scottie, but hit like before you go, says Catherine. Trump has said anybody vandalizing statues faces up to a decade in prison. The guy does not mess around. Oh, no, a lot of the Americans think Trump's the best thing since sliced bread. I miss the Little Chef restaurant somewhere. I'd like to stop on my lorry journeys. Do you know, I can't believe you've actually said that, Fast Pat. I used to love to pop into, the Little Chef on the A1. So you had Scotch Corner, and then a bit further down, near the Air Force Base, yeah, heading on down towards Ferry Bridge. Used to travel every Monday afternoon. John sounds a bit of a snob with his JD and Coke, First Lord of the Internet. Says Craig, it's time you ditch those CDs and move over to streaming, Scottie. I do. These are for old Scottie shows that people adore. I used to go into a certain store where everything used to be sixpence and buy CDs, and people were raving about them because Scottie McClue had played it. Oh, I love that. Scottie McClue show, fantastic. So there were CDs out there at like 15 quid, and I was paying stuff at 99p, playing it on the radio, and folk were going bananas for it. So there we are. Wouldn't it be something to hear David Attenborough describe humans as risking siblicide for gathering for a drink? David Attenborough, wonderful, wonderful man. The Blue Planet. Out there in the frozen wasteland, nothing is stirring. Then there is a slight movement in the Arctic tundra. It's the one resident of this very cold, deserted place. The Arctic fox. Fantastic, isn't it? When you get all that sort of stuff. Catherine says, yes, I vape, exercises your lungs, and you are told to do that as well in case you get COVID. No, I would not be vaping, Catherine. Just oxygen into your lungs. Scottie, like I said, it's best to have a sensible head on your shoulders than be hasty and go all guns blazing. Come on, people, let's be sensible, says the wonderful Glenn. So there we are. Captain Contagious, he thinks, this is an opinion, that Piers is a bad influence on TV. So there we go. Acerbic, self-centered, egotistic individual drives division. In actual fact, Captain Contagious, though, we need people who get in there, very good journalists, and pick the bones out of all these people. No kidding, your dad's the double of Jeremy Kyle, says John Jones. Jeremy Kyle replaced Scottie McClue in Manchester. The pick of you and Prince Chuck, you look like Piers, actually. Thank you, because my uncle plays the pipes in the International Tattoo. I'm not sure how often they go to Scotland, but I think it's semi-annual. Huge Canadian pipe bands. You've got the Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders of Canada. And the military tattoo in Edinburgh was started by Colonel George Malcolm. So there you are, whose father was married to Lily Langtry's daughter. So there we are, very interesting. These pictures are great, by the way. Did you like them, Grady? Scottie, of your mum's eyes, thanks for sharing those pictures. Such a respect to name one's child after someone. Absolutely, Grady. Apparently he was a lovely man. He died at 21. He went down with a destroyer during the Second World War, Battle of the Atlantic. My kids are both artists. The youngest edits, has a huge following at college. Could help, but today you can be self-taught before reaching college is all I meant. What you're talking about is somebody who is an autodidact, or they are autodidactic. Great photos, Scottie, says Catherine Raven. Thanks, Catherine. Appreciated. Your name's not Scottie. You're named after Uncle Colin. Oh, I have several names. Al, says Daniel. Hello, Fat Pat. Summit off the top shelf, says Tam. Top shelf is mainly the Jimmy Shan stuff, of course. My brothers from Barnsley. Do you want to listen to a Jimmy Shan? Sorry, Fast Pat. Typo error, says Glenn. What should we talk about if I call in Scottie? Oh, Grady, we can talk about anything. Glenn, no worries, buddy. Happens to me all the time. Darned iPhones, me plus technology. Don't get on. Fast Pat, who's told you that? Anything you put your mind to, you can do. There we are, Fast Pat. More sharing, guys. Can everybody share until 10 to till 10? Now, what I'm going to do is play the clip. Now, somebody mentioned Robbie Burns the other night, and I thought you'd like that one. So there we are. Robbie Burns. Excellent. So, Scottie McClue. Let's see what comes up here. So we'll get a clip for you. Right, so there you are. Now, this was when I got phoned by the old Talk Radio UK, the old Talk Radio, and they wanted me to give them some information. They were based in London, a national radio station, and they said, would I call in and give them some information about Burns? So I said, oh, well, I think we can manage that. So if we hold on, I'll let you hear the result, and you can tell me what you think. Here we go. Oh, hang on. Right. We'll just pop back a bit. So this is a wee while back, but excellent stuff. Let me just see that I've got some speakers for you. Switch that. Right, here we go. Scottie McClue on national radio talking about Robbie Burns. See what you think.
This is Talk Radio. With hangers all over my face, it's Sean Bolger tonight between now and 9 on Talk Radio, 10:53 and 10:89 a.m. This part of the programme, we're celebrating Burns Night with haggis, bagpipes, and now a Caledonian King, Scottie McClue, joins me from Edinburgh. Scottie, good evening.
Good evening, Sean.
And a very happy Burns Night to you.
Very nice to talk to you. A very happy Burns Night to you and to the rest of the United Kingdom.
Now tell me, Scottie, what is all the hoo-ha about Burns Night?
Well, it's not really hoo-ha. You see, down south you've got Shakespeare and all the rest of it. Now, Burns makes Shakespeare look like a dull Sloan. You know, few men have done anything for any country what Robert Burns has done for Scotland is a favourite quote. And the freedom-ringing songs of Burns have without doubt helped to build the great British Empire. That was the governor of Nova Scotia at the time.
But, I mean, his works haven't sold quite as well and aren't performed to and listened to quite as much as Shakespeare, are they?
Now, excuse me, that's a ridiculous thing to say, Sean. I mean, this man is the most popular poet in the world. You know, now Shakespeare we got rammed down our throat at school, but that's because Burns didn't get a look in. Had we got Burns, we'd all be singing and dancing.
Now, does Burns have a look in these days in Scottish schools?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Wonderful stuff.
Absolutely. All right, well, listen, tell me what's happening in Edinburgh tonight and all around Scotland. What are people doing? Because there's quite a big tradition of the ceremony of Burns Night, isn't there?
Yes, very, very many Burns suppers going on round Scotland. Right. And certainly in Edinburgh, of course, some of the biggest ones. In Greenock, in the west of Scotland, they had the biggest Burns supper in the world today.
Mm-hmm. How many people were at that?
Oh, just everybody that was going into the shopping mall was given tatties and neeps and haggis and all the rest of it. So I think they were going to hopefully make the Guinness Book of Records.
Now, what's all this business about addressing the haggis?
Well, you have to address the haggis. You see, the gentleman there was telling you a good bit of what was in it. You know, a lot of sheep's pluck, liver, lungs and heart, soup, seasoning, onions, boil it up. Many of the butchers, of course, guard the recipe for it, Sean. That's the problem. The haggis makers have their own secrets, you see. I will not be telling you. So that sort of thing, you know. Some people actually prefer the calf's liver for its stronger flavour and the pork fat, of course, for a little bit of moistness, because you don't want the haggis too dry. But the thing about Burns, as Patrick was saying earlier, he saw the humblest of things as something something to write about. He was certainly the representative of the common man. I suppose he was really an early socialist.
Is the piece that people actually say to the haggis, the Burns supper, is that a set piece every year?
Yes, that's a set piece. They addressed to the haggis. Burns wrote it himself, and he talks about what would happen is the haggis will be piped in with the bagpiper. I hear you've got one down at Top Radio UK there.
Well,
I would, pipe in the haggis, and everybody stands to receive the haggis. This is, the most wonderful thing under the sun, when in comes this mixture of oatmeal and sheep's guts. And
I have to say, as a girly southerner, I mean, what's in it doesn't bear thinking about, but it tastes fantastic.
Oh, it tastes absolutely gorgeous. And I take issue with the gentleman that covered it in red wine. He can thank his lucky stars.
I didn't cover it in red wine. I was drinking red wine with it.
Well, that's all right. I'll let you off for that then, because you get not bad red wines. But I mean, a dash of whiskey on it, of course, just brightens the whole idea.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Are you off to supper tonight yourself?
Yes, I shall be going to a Burns supper tonight, and sitting down and tucking into the neeps and the haggis and all that sort of thing.
Now, tell me, you've prepared a poem for us this evening.
Yes.
I would very much like to hear this. What's it called?
Well, I will do that for you in just a second. There's two things I have to tell you just about the address to the haggis.
Yes.
There's the piper, and then there's the man with the skiing do, which means the black knife.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, he plunges it into the haggis. So the poem begins, fair for your honest sonsy face, great chieftain of the pudding race. Or the pudding race, as we say. And then, of course, he plunges the knife into the haggis, rips the guts out of it. Up comes the wonderful smell that everybody just faints at. At least I think it's the smell they're fainting at. And then he says, warm reeking, when he can smell the guts of the haggis.
All right, run those first couple of lines past me again. I mean, what do they mean?
Fear for your honest sonsy face. The haggis is a very honest creature.
Right.
You know, there it is lying there, and its face is very sonsy, full of meal and full of honest cheer and toil of the land. Good yeoman stock.
All right, well, thank you for putting us right on that. Have you got another poem for us?
Yes, I've got a little poem, which I thought I might just say to you, and then give you a tiny tune for the second bit, if I may.
Oh, if you want,
just to let you know, because it's nice to have a wee song and Burns.
Oh, you do it, yeah, go ahead.
Right, well, this one is, all the airts the wind can blow, so all round the world the wind blows. Of all the airts the wind can blow, I dearly like the west, for there the bonny lassie lives, the lass I love the best. There's wild woods grow and rivers row and many a hill between, but day and night my fancy's flight is ever with my Jean. I see her in the dewy flowers, I see her sweet and fair, I hear her in the tuneful birds, I hear her charm the air. There's not a bonny flower that springs by fountain, shaw, or green. There's not a bonny bird that sings, but reminds me of my Jean.
That's quite beautiful, actually. Well done. Thank you, Scottie. That's very good indeed. And as you say, you had a tune as well.
No, I was just going to give you the tune. I'll just give you one, Des, because I don't want the nation switching off.
But do I.
Because I know they're all there, you see. So it just goes, just to show you the simplicity of the music that goes with so many Burns songs, Sean. Of all the earth the wind can blow, I dearly like the west, for there the bonny lassie lives, the lass I know the best. There's wild woods grow and rivers row and many a hill between, but day and night my fancy's flight is ever wi' my Jean. And by that point everybody is absolutely pashed, as we see in Scotland. And the tears are streaming down their faces and they're applauding.
Yes, they're applauding through the window.
Yeah,
good. Yes, and it's early in the evening, so I'd be lucky to get out alive after it,
Scottie, listen, man, I understand that Burns liked the ladies, and it said he died from a sexually transmitted disease. I mean,
I think you're pushing your luck.
Do you think so?
Yes.
All right, okay, I bow to your knowledge, Doctor.
He died of endocarditis.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a heart condition induced by rheumatism.
All right, then.
And he was buried in Dumfries. Now, I'll just tell you very quickly about that. You must tell me to shut up if I'm boring you.
No, please, carry on.
You know, he was buried in Dumfries. Now, he owed a few quid to all the locals by that time, you know, to the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker, and they hadn't quite paid his debts. And he said, aye, you'll get your money, because by this point he was enjoying a good refreshment and you know, the company of the locals and what have you. So what they did at first, believe it or not, and I will probably be taken to the Tower of London and hung, drawn and quartered for saying this, the folk of Dumfries weren't that proud of him, so they buried him in the local midden in the Toon Heap. And, you know, that's what they did with poor old Burns. And then a few days later, they thought, here, what have we done? So they dug him up, and his head had rolled away from his body, and his hair was pure white.
Oh.
So they got a bit of a panic that, you know, they'd incurred the wrath of the devil, and they dusted poor old Burns down and gave him a decent Christian burial.
Well, listen, Scottie, finally for now, if he were asked, how do you think he'd like to be remembered?
As representative of the common man, as a man whose works and whose philosophies are as current today as they actually were then. He talked of the fact that the aristocracy had sold Scotland out all these hundreds of years ago, were bought and sold for English gold, such a parcel of rogues in a nation. The English gold was the money that the aristocracy received for saying, look, we'll kowtow any risings from these rough Scots, and the parcel of rogues in the nation was the aristocracy. Of course, that's all changed nowadays.
Would he be a supporter of the SNP?
I think they probably would. He would have been a great politician, because there would have been stacks of sleaze there for the tabloids.
Scottie, listen, thanks ever so much for being with us tonight.
Lovely to talk to you.
Have a fantastic Burns night.
God bless you, mate.
And enjoy the haggis and the knife and the music and the poems and all that goes with it. Scottie McCLUE on the line from Edinburgh.
There we go, guys. There we are. A little bit of a Burns thing. I know it's not Burns time of year, but I thought you'd like to hear that. So let's hear what's coming on here. There we are. Hello, Fat Pat, says Glenn Peacock. Summit off top shelf, says Tom. We got that. My brother's from Barnsley, says Daniel. Dinky do, Scottie, says Robster. Sorry, Fast Pat. Type error. Yes, Glenn called him Fat Pat, and it meant Fast Pat. It's only one letter missing. What should we talk about if I call in Scottie? Grady, entirely up to your good self. You're very welcome. Oh, Glenn, no worries, buddy. Happens to me all the time. Darned iPhones. Technology, yes, you do. No wonder there was a lot of drinking in Carlisle. Have you seen the football team? Says Captain Contagious. They're pretty fabulous, Carlisle, are they not? I got rid of the iPhone, Pat, so there we are. Scottie, you have an incredible radio voice. J-Dog Gaming, I thank you, sir. I've found a hole in my gum. Any advice? Is that your actual gum or your gum boot? You need to get that checked out, Daniel Harrison. I once went to the dentist, said, Scottie, your teeth are lovely, but I've got some bad news. I says, what's that? He says, your gums will have to come out. Catherine, it was a gift from my niece, said I had to upgrade, lol. But she was happy with my little, and she mentions, you're handsome when you were younger, Scottie, and so was your dad, and your mum was a very beautiful woman. Your family are a very handsome family. Thank you, Glenn. I'm maybe not so handsome nowadays, but I've been on the earth for a long time. A very tough life. Tough life. Last 10 years have been very tough. Last 12 years have been tough. Harriet, I'm not some daft wee school lassie, says Fast Pat. Yes, no, you're not. You're certainly not daft, Fast Pat. Otherwise, you'd be daft, Pat, and we don't want that. Yes, I say it a lot also, says Tam. What do you say, Tam? Evening, y'all. Evening, Scottie, says Joseph Aitken. Welcome, Joseph. Evening, Joseph. Hope you're well, says Fast Pat. But you're not fast, Pat, says Captain Contagious. Playing with fire there, Contagious. Catherine says, I got an old model phone. It took me a fortnight to work out. Couldn't ask for help in lockdown. It was 2 months without a phone. The best time I'd ever had. Loved the piece to do other things. Must tell you, Catherine, I was very late in coming to a modern phone that you could do all the stuff on. And my friend gave me his old phone. He said, I'll give you this. I need to modernize you. So that was that. And I said, but I'll still keep my old phone with me. And anyway, we were out at a party, and he said it was winter, and he said to his wife, he says, I can't get a signal to get he wanted his son to come and pick us up. He says, I can't get a signal. I'll see if I can get one. And I took out my wee old mobile phone, tiny wee thing, and of course got a signal. I said, oh, aye, anyway, I'll never live this down. Captain, I'm not fast when it comes to technology, buddy. I got the name from my co-workers back in the 90s. Well, of course, you're fast, Pat, because you knew the roads. What was the fast part from Pat? This is Captain Contagious. I think probably he knew the roads and his runs were fast. Can I Skype, says Tam? Yes, you can, Tam. No swearing, no mentions of second names, no names of businesses. No nonsense, but yes, of course you can Skype. They are SCOTTIE.McCLUE, and on you come and have a wee chat with me. Catherine, I do prefer old models. I'm just a phone call and text kind of guy. When I need to use the internet, I have my laptop. Good for you, Fast Pat. Yes, says Catherine. Hi, Scotty, says Tony. Hi, Tony, welcome. Captain, I drove the lorries for a long time now. I was always the fastest in my company at the journeys. Sometimes my head got big, and I like to brag, brackets not proud, close brackets. Also, I talk very fast. Good for you, Fast Pat. You need to Skype us. I pay a lot of tax here in the Netherlands, says Captain Contagious. No problem whatsoever. It makes me for a better society. Yes, who we got here? Hello, you're live on Scottie McClue. Is that Tam?
How you doing, Scotty?
How you doing, Tam? Lovely to hear you and dinky do.
Oh, did you do it yourself?
Now listen, we thoroughly appreciate all your hard work on this stream. Thank you for that.
No, thank you. It's a pleasure.
You're a great man. It's fantastic stuff. And do you know Fast Pat well? Hello, Tam.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
I've got a bad signal. It's worse than yours, I think.
All right, right.
Yes.
Yes, excellent stuff. So do you know Fast Pat well then? Hello? Oh, I think we're losing Tam. What a shame. Right, there we are. Not to worry. That was excellent. That was a very nice introduction. And well done for Skyping, Tam. No one needs that much money. Rich people shouldn't be allowed to be elected. Young people should be elected with fresh ideas and a passion to clean up the planet. So there we are. Fantastic. Experience counts for a lot, Catherine. The government should be set up as the pinnacle of a successful career and as an honour. Yes, but the politician keeps the money. Here we go. Hello. Hello, Liam.
Hello, it's Grady here again.
Oh, Grady, fantastic. Sorry, I've got the wrong name. I beg your pardon. Lovely to hear you. There's
I
a
got
delay.
a double up here on sound.
There's a little delay.
It's just a little laggy.
Yeah, don't worry about that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, so I took a couple notes because I wasn't sure what we should talk about, but I just was kind of piecing stuff together.
Yep. Guys, this is Grady from Cape Breton, live on Scottie McClue's live stream on YouTube. Fantastic. Grady, how do we get this out across Canada?
It's a good question. I think that probably some hashtags regarding Canadian issues would help funnel it towards mainstream.
Excellent, excellent. We need to get that. I'm always open to suggestions. Do you like the idea of the stream? Are you enjoying joining in?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's great. It's a good time for me in the day.
Yep, excellent.
I generally work later.
Yep, so you're working away. So it's around your tea time, supper time?
Yeah, just before. Yeah.
Lovely, lovely. Absolutely. And what would be, have you got some good late night talk streams out there?
No, hardly. I think our mainstream talk shows are at a bare minimum, but CBC is government controlled and largely favoring a certain bent.
Well, I remember being in touch with one of the main broadcasters in Canada. This was some time ago, and I got a message back, Scottie, we really do Canadian stuff. Sorry about that. And that was it.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to touch on something, though, Scottie, about what you were saying, what is normal?
Yeah. Just we got the delay.
And I was just thinking about the social proof over time as it creates a cultural context. And that's always going to be specific to an area or specific to a group, whatever size.
So you think that there isn't actually such a thing as normal? There's normal for certain groups or sects?
I think that normal is actually a variable, but there is such a thing.
Yeah, so it's very variable. So there is such a thing as normal. It's a bit like the term nice. You know, he's a nice guy. I can remember somebody said, nice guy, he takes drugs and all sorts of things.
Yeah.
You know, that sort of stuff. And you think, well, does that make him a really non-nice guy then? So then you end up defining, labeling what makes a nice guy.
Oh. I'm losing you for a second here.
Yep.
Getting it back. Yeah, it does. And I think nice comes from the Latin root for stupid or idiot, I believe.
Yes, absolutely. So when you say somebody's a nice guy, I mean, he's as daft as a brush with no head.
Nice. Yeah, I think it's kind of like an average of an ideal and not really the average of reality.
Yeah.
In the general.
And you see, there's another one for you, Grady. What is reality?
Yeah, I think that again is a similar kind of impressionism of, your perceptions and information that is flowing.
Absolutely. That's what is reality. Fantastic stuff. Grady, thanks very much for the call. There's quite a long delay on it, but it's brilliant to be in touch, and it's lovely to have you on the stream.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, it was tough.
Lovely, lovely. Thanks again. All the best. What a top man. So there we are. That's Grady. And very, very good. Obviously, because we're talking to him in Canada, right across the Atlantic, hands across the sea, guys. There's quite a long delay. But is that not just fantastic? I still marvel at that sort of thing. More likes, please. Like. Has everybody subscribed? Has everybody clicked like? Has everybody shared? Let's do some more sharing. Share. Very, very important. We must share. Right? I'm going to just keep going back here. I've got so much technology around me. It's wonderful. Thomas says, I work in the debt industry. If anyone's interested in writing off up to 85% of their debt, give me a shout. Good for you, Tam. Excellent stuff. That's an excellent service. He's still handsome, says Catherine Raven. Glad that beard is trimmed tidy. Thank you very much, Catherine. I very, very rarely had a beard. A couple of times in my life, usually clean shaven completely though. But I thought, lockdown, what am I doing? I was standing shaving one morning. I thought, what am I doing? So there you are. Fantastic. There's quite a delay tonight, guys. Tony says he's worrying what's happening with parts of America, Germany, Australia, and China, worrying about a second wave of coronavirus. Despite this, they want to reduce to 1 mile social distance. What do you think? I think you mean 1 meter, Tony. I think the predictive text got you there. If you're a mile away, you should be fairly safe. Politicians don't get paid much, but most are very poor performers, says Captain Contagious. So, and struggle in the business world when they leave government. Happy birthday from a few days ago. Great wishes. You're sincerely from the First Order. BB, thank you very much. We love that. Sorry, repeating myself twice, Scotty, says Glenn. You did, Glenn. Tony, you're here now. How are you? Hope you and Mrs. Mac are well. Did you ever get a clip over the ear? Oh, Jerry, yes. And the teachers as well thought nothing of giving you a quick whiff. Clip coming up. Yes, brilliant. Universal basic income allows everyone to pay their gas and electric rates and their council tax. Rest goes back into the local economy. If people shop local, not supermarkets who send their profits to the Caribbean. Now you are talking ACOS. I, for years, have said, we used to have the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker. Then the supermarkets came in, no names, no pack drill, right? In the 1960s, in came the supermarkets. People find it easier to get parking. They don't have the wizards, as I call them, the parking police, the traffic wardens, fining them for £40 or whatever it is every time they stop on the double yellow, taking photos of them now, all that stuff. Dreadful. So people like to go to the supermarkets now. What the government should say to the supermarkets, you must account in the country you're in. So if you're a supermarket in Scotland, you don't take everybody's money off them and then send it straight to London or offshore or something like that. You have to spend it in that community. You have to account. So if you're a supermarket, you should have a Scottish head office and the money stays in Scotland and goes back into the community. Because think about it. When you had the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker, they all shopped at each other's shop. They drank at each other's pubs. They would even gamble at each other's bookies, all that sort of stuff. So it was very much a localized economy. And what's happening, we're earning a wage, we're then spending it in the supermarket, and it's disappearing from our country. So we're getting poorer by the day. So if you've got a business in Scotland and you're benefiting from that, you should be accounting in Scotland and paying your tax in Scotland. Okay? Have we got that? Do you like that? Guys, more likes, please. Like. So there we are. We're doing great, thanks, Catherine, says Anthony. Hello, how are you, says BB. Great stuff. Good, Tony, keep safe. Read your photos. I'll work out any blemishes on them if you want and send them back clean without mold or dust spots for free because it takes 5 minutes. There's a lovely guy comes on to my Facebook, and when I post a picture, like one of my dad in black and white, he colored it for me. And it was fabulous, outstanding work. Do you have any pipes? Daniel, I don't know. I had a great uncle who was a bagpipe maker. And sadly, I think all that's gone. My father had his father's pipes were Peter Henderson's with the silver chanter carved with thistles and everything. Fabulous set of pipes and all the original reeds from Peter Henderson's. Agree, Scotty, on picking up the hard issues, but let's remember that bullying and nastiness is still apt. Even if you're a journalist and the effect on people's mental health is the same. Absolutely, Captain Contagious. Yes. Remember, mental health is not a weakness. It's very often a sign of staying strong for far too long. That's the thing. So there you go. Guys, tell 10 to tell 10. Can we get some sharing here? Daniel, what are you talking about? So there you are. We don't discuss that. Just remember, you're watching Scottie McClue on YouTube just for you. Dinky do. Daniel, I think I'm going to have to remove you. So there we are. send them to Scottie. He'll pick at them and get to the bottom of these matters. Scottie, when you get busy, you could read your comments during the clips. Yes. But it's nice to catch up and read them out. Although you guys can see them, it's good. Right. Hello, who's that? Hello? All right, some idiot. There we go. Right, so we'll just block him. So hold on. Right, what we'll do with this guy is we'll block him. So there we go. Lovely. And that's him, and he's now blocked. Wonderful stuff. That's the stuff. Block. Good. Right. We'll not be hearing from him again. Remember, you've got to be in the trusted list if you are Skyping. Caledonia, says Grady. Yes, Carlisle is only open to the Met can arrest folk north of... Carlisle is only open so the Met can arrest folk north of the border who committed crimes in England. That will be your first port of call. They can't question you north of the border, so I heard, says Acos. You've got to love the haggis, says Kareem. Scottie, I'll say good night and dinky do everyone. Have a good day. Speak tomorrow night. Thanks for my Skype call. Kareem, your Skype call was a privilege. We love you on here. You are a top man. Bye, Kareem. Take care. Kareem's going, guys. Can we all say good night? Cheers, Kareem. Your honest, sonsy face. Remember my dad saying that. He read it a lot to me. Lovely. I love that poem. Well read, Scottie. I think he's pulling that off the top, Catherine. Yes, off the top of the head, because I just made a call, you see. Grady, I love to listen to poetry and essays, but the voice and delivery is what capture me. So yes, I could read these, but I want to read them out to everybody, because not everybody sees them. What a smacker. Who knows how Buns died off my heart and refutes Bologna and a single breath changes countless impressionable minds, says Grady. Top man, Grady. What do you think about England going down to a metre distance rule, especially worrying when China, Germany, Australia and parts of America are worrying about a second wave of coronavirus? Tony, I think going down to a metre is just madness. It could be suicide, because if somebody sneezes, it's an airborne virus. It covers way over a metre. Some of the sneezes I do, it could be a whole room. That's how I was put to bed as a child. Songs, poems, sonnets, essays. Did anybody read the wonderful Beatrix Potter? The first time I heard Scottie's voice on radio again, it was like hearing my dad's voice again. It commands your attention. I was so excited to hear his voice. Thank you, Catherine. Buns was no stranger to being fond of the women. Did he get married? I wonder at what age he got married. A great Scots legend. Yes, and Buns Highland Mary is buried in Greenock Cemetery. There we are. Bad signal, says Tam. It was Tam, but not to worry. It was good to hear you. Grady, yay. Tony Mac, you should Skype. It'd be interesting to hear how you get into radio. Yes, Catherine. Is he listening to the YouTube stream instead of the Skype call? I remember that used to be a thing on the Radio Collins. No Welly song. Remember on the Radio Collins? Oh, well, he might be. Do you mean was Grady listening? What I was going to say about the radio, remember the radio was delayed anyway, but he might be doing that, yes, rather than listening to... Grady, were you listening to the stream rather than listening on the Skype call? That might be worth a look. Sorry if I sent the same message twice, few tech problems. Tony, don't talk to McClue about tech problems. We had to restart the stream earlier tonight. Thomas, we got to hear your cheery voice, says Catherine. Yes, great conversation, very interesting. Can't get into Skype, says Tony. Maybe next time, Tony. I liked the conversation you had with Grady. Hope you have many more existential questions. Haha, thanks, Scottie. No problem at all. Scottie, you haven't got ugly. You've just matured in age like a fine wine. Glenn, you say the nicest things. Move up a place. Anything goes in lockdown. I got into radio through hospital radio, college student radio, sports radio, and now community radio. I just love it, Catherine. There you go. Good for you, Tony. Radio is easy to love. So, getting poorer and traditionally normal human-sized economy are inversely related. Yes. Brilliant. You are a genius, Grady. I can remember you on the Scottie McClue show on Scott FM where you promoted McClue's Pies. I did, Colindon. There we are. Thanks for my Skype call, Scotty. Great chat. Said it how it is. You did, Glenn. Very good call. Catherine, would you call in, says Grady. Wouldn't answer any unknown calls anymore. Can't trust anyone. No, Daniel, I would not be doing that. So there we are. Scotty, is it acceptable? Should grown men watch just as well? I just cut that one off. We don't want that again, Daniel, do you? So there we are. I was trying to find the right channel without missing another beat. It was troublesome, says Grady. Aha. Grady, check that then. So maybe there shouldn't be that delay, even although it's Canada. You're easy to live to, Scotty. Great show again tonight. Night, easy to listen to. Night, Tony. Sleep well, Law. I didn't like when the supermarkets opened as a kid. I think they're an eyesore. I don't like them. Catherine, yes, I know. Nice to shop locally. But the local shops have had a real dusting through all the coronavirus. Guys, we're way over time. I'm going to have to dash. Lovely to have you all on. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's stream, tonight's 2 streams. And join me tomorrow night at 8 o'clock sharp on YouTube here. It's only last year I got over a horrible fear of phones, says Catherine. I'd like to, but honestly don't know if I could handle it. Catherine, of course you can. It's me you're talking to. And, we're on a stream here. We can build it up so people who've never called can call and have a chat. Cheers tonight. Shame off earlier. Don't worry about that. Earlier's gone. We are on now. Take care, Scotty Dinky. Do. Good night. God bless everybody. This is Scottie McClue. I'll sing you the goodbye song. Scottie McClue, sing ta-ra to you. Scotty, people shouldn't abuse chatting to you on Skype, talking to a legend. Dinky do, Scotty. Nightla. He was just an idiot. You don't worry. The world is stuffed with idiots. They come out the woodwork when there's something big and successful on. Can I have more likes before I go, please? Thanks again. Cheers. Cheers, Grady. Think about the delay, see what we can do about that. That would be fantastic. And we'll look at doing perhaps a morning show. Have a great night, everyone. Have a great night. You're easy to love too, says Tony. Thanks, Tony. Dinky do. We love you. Fantastic stuff. Right. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Take care, everybody, as you go. Goodbye, everybody. Auf Wiedersehen, au revoir, and a cheerio. Dinky do, big man. Dinky do, Glenn. Night, night, Jerry Nicole. Night to all you fabulous people. Catch you tomorrow, 8 o'clock sharp. Be there or be square. Meanwhile, take great care of your dear selves. Stay safe, of course. And stay fabulous and love being you. It's a lovely thing to be. Good night, lads. Ta-ra, lads. Dinky-doo.